Welcome to Ringside Riffs by Andres Cortes. Now, we just saw Raw, and we know that the American made are continuing to get that story being built on them. And if you gotta believe anything, is that the WWE is definitely building upon with Chad Gable. I mean, the man has definitely overcome what he has built, and he has definitely built up this team. Now, don't get me wrong, it's definitely interesting to get to Wyatt Six to see everything, to understand that we're all witnessing the revival of the Wyatt Six, and rest in peace, Brian Wyatt. But we're here to see how Uncle Howdy does, and what we're all understanding is American made, and the Wyatt Six are two great teams, and we're lucky to have them in the stable of the WWE. If anything, they put on a great opener, a great show, and we're ready to see more of what is to come from this great team. Because what do they need? Do they deserve the tag team titles? Do they deserve to be the contenderships of what they've seen? Or are they just storytellers? They're story builders. They're here to illustrate what they can and can't do. But we understand one thing, they definitely put on a great show. We all want the White Six to continue to battle, to have meaningful and understandable matches, to continue to build upon that story, and we want the American made to continue to be not just this gumball dumbo show. Now, Finn Balor's heat with Damian Priest continues to build upon. We know that it had to be, we're trying to make Finn Balor a heel, a mega heel. If anything, he was already hated, he was already in the Judgment Day. Is it time to let the demon out? We know that Bad Blood is right around the corner, and NXT has been that stepping ground between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. And the rivalry continues to build up. We know that these two people have continued to continue and hate each other because of what has happened, because of the Judgment Day. And if anything, we are only understanding that all these superstars deserve their own headlining story. Now, Pete Dunne is what really impresses me. Pete Dunne is who I would have liked had that opportunity, because he is ravishing NXT and WWE Raw with Sheamus, with every single uh, heat that he continues to do. But we do know that there are other people capable of taking that IC title, and we didn't find out until later in the match, because it's the teasers that continue to carry us on. Now, the women, they put on a great match. They saw the division. We continue to see them grow. We continue to see how it all depends on the rivalry and the storytelling that they're doing. It all depends on how they're all inflicting and coming to and understanding one thing over another, that they have to put each other over, or if not, it might be the end, and it has to be Jade Cargill that continues to pick up those wins. Fashionably, we know that Dragon Lee and Dominic Mysterio faced off, and Dominic Mysterio continued to be the most hated man alive. Dragon Lee continued to get his opportunities, even though it's not there for him, buddy. It's not there, it's not gonna continue, it's not gonna carry over. We have to understand one thing. We have to understand that Dominic Mysterio is gonna continue to be hated, and the LWO is continuing to be built. But if that is the only story that we continue to see, because that's the carry line. And who do you think got announced? It's all over social media. Everybody knows it already, but here is my take. Bret the Hitman Hart coming to be the aid of Sami Zayn, coming to shout out and talk shit to Gunther and say the bad things, to understand that the things were getting carried, we're getting out of hand, we're getting to a point where he had to offend everybody, and that is not the champion that the WWE Universe deserves. So Bret the Hitman Hart is here to save the day, save us from the reigns of Gunther, and save us from the undertaking of 1, 2, 3. And he might be the one who finally frees us, but it's not gonna end like this. This is just a cute storyline by some Canadians, and that's when they want to build, because the almighty Gunther isn't gonna just fall down so easily. He's not gonna just be beaten and be understated. He's gonna be the one who beats that title match and continues to go along. He's gonna be able to go and carry up and do that. But we all loved, as WWE fans, to see Bret the Hitman Hart backing up Sami Zayn, having that Canadian destroyer, having that connection of being able to see the plan. So that's WWE's plan right now. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. The future of WWE is in the hands of those two men, and it's gonna be a great show. But one thing is certain: Gunther is gonna be the one that takes the win. I mean, come on. Do you have any other opinions? You have to leave a comment down below, because I wouldn't trust anything else that the WWE has in plan. Now, the Intercontinental match did happen, that number one contendership. We all gonna see who's gonna take on Braun Breaker, who's gonna be the one that takes on that undeniable force. And Pete Dunne continues to have his heat with Sheamus, which might have even cost him the match. And the opportunity. So, right before that title match, we got to see what Dominic Mysterio and Dragon Lee had to say. And of course, the crowd loved it. These two high flying superstars were 1, 2, 3, and the LWO against Judgment Day. This continues to be a good proposition to give all these superstars some TV time without really shattering, because remember, for 3 months, the LWO was out of TV for no apparent reason. We just blamed it on Rey Mysterio's injury. But come on, I mean, what happened to Dragon Lee? What happened to Joaquin? What happened to all these other superstars that were getting TV time? So I'm glad that they're getting help, they're getting that opportunity. And we did get to see that Damage Control will be facing off Beta Belair and Jada Cargill for those women tag team titles. And if you know anything about the WWE, you know that they're just gonna put on a good match, but they're not gonna lose those titles. And I'm sorry to just burst it out, defend it, but that is the storyline. So the WWE has created a new division, a new settings for this new women's title, and they keep on building it like this because they want to bring in this mid-card women's title ship, right? And they continue to build upon the roster with all these division leaders, because that's the only way that they're gonna continue to have that understanding and undertaking of the main mentality of how it comes to be. Now, if we understand of the real superstars, the real necessities of what we're taking, then it has to become, because that's the only way that they can continue to brand upon. We've seen the switch, we've seen them apply themselves to Netflix, we've seen them go off to the USA Network, we see them now switch NXT to the CW Network, and it's just an implement. So after the much necessary heat from Drew McIntyre for CM Punk, we are standing at a grits of what is going to happen. When is this bad blood announcement going to be made? How will this trilogy now be made for the match? And the heat continues. Will these men even ever end the hatred? Will they ever forgive each other? Is there any way they can end this feud? Well, we know one thing. It came down to the wire. It came down to the end. And it's going to be Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And they continue to build this upon, only for them to be in WrestleMania. Only for them to be able to understand what is going on and how it's going to take. But we understand that CM Punk is returning to Raw really soon. And that's just going to cause more meaning for what is going to happen with Raw. Now, Xavier Woods is so close to turning into a heel, and that's what the people want. We want to see Xavier Woods become the bad person that he is. We want to see him break apart the New Day, and it's real close, and a lot of people understand that it might happen in that tag team titles that are coming up, and it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be a sad moment in WWE history, because it's been one of the longest reigns, but it's the only way that someone like Xavier Woods could get his credibility and his own singles mentions. Now, the Judgment Day does rule Raw, The Judgment Day has great storylines all over, from the singles matches with Finn Balor and Damian Priest to the tag team matches with the LWO and Judgment Day being led over there with Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Carlito. And we know that they just continue to build upon these matches because it's great exposure. So it's the only way we're getting this set for Bad Blood. You have to understand that these rivalries have to come in and be intensified by any means necessary. Now, the main event for Raw, the main thing, as we talked about, was the IC title, the Intercontinental title at Reign. There was a lot of favorites. There was a lot of people in the stakes to winning this title. But one thing led to another. We had Pete Dunne already pretty much injured. We had the big Braun Strowman already injured as well. We had Elijah, the Sia, and Joe Dragonovsky. He's already there. So if you weren't paying attention, it had to be Jey Uso who picked up that win. It had to be him by surprise. It was a great performance by every man. It was a great showing of what they did, of what they all put in handy. But we had to see how it all became and how it all came to land, because it wouldn't understandably break the bond between the main eventers and the bond. We got to see everybody's spots. We got to see the finger break, the barrel breakers. We got to see the kicks, the steps, and just when everybody expected, it really took heat. It really stepped forward. It really was the break, and it all deserved the rivalry stepped forward. Bronson Reed came over to go against. We were so close to the start picking up, but then Jey Uso doing the kick, Jey Uso doing the splash, and it had to be main event. It had to be main event Jey Uso, because it's just, this is the last push. Just like Rikishi had said, if you're not giving this man a push, then what is the WWE doing? Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching.